Fleas in real life suck. They can give you Lyme disease and are partially responsible for deleting 1/3 of Europe's population in the 14th century. But fleas in Silksong, they're great. They go, "Awoo!" And I need a plush of one right now, Team Cherry. I'm serious, this is a threat. Make a plush right now or else I'm gonna... The unfortunate thing about these little dudes is that God didn't program them with any sense of direction, and they're apparently too broke to afford the compass charm because they get lost very easily. In fact, they're excellent at getting lost in extremely convoluted places. Like sure, some of them just find a dead end and decide to give up and take a nap. And honestly, same. But others manage to get stuck in terrain, vines, ice, or even jail? Like what crimes did he commit? In total, there's 30 lost fleas all around Farloom that need to be found so they can, I guess magically know the way back to the caravan just by you finding them? I guess Hornet really says a lot with those empty sunken eyes. But, which of the lost fleas are the best? And which ones are the worst? Well, I'm going to rank all of them using my extremely scientific and reason-based method of vibes and how much I enjoyed finding them and how they went awoo! And oh yeah, disclaimer, this is just my opinion. Please do not threaten me because I ranked a cartoon flea you liked lower than another cartoon flea you didn't like. Okay, thanks.
Idiots!
I want to be clear that last place does not mean I hate this flea and want it to explode. I love all the fleas. But some are just built better than others, and this guy is just a bit lazy. Last place goes to the flea trapped in this barrel shell looking thing in the deep docks, right by where you get dash. For most players, this was probably one of the first fleas you found, as it's not really well hidden at all, and could be found right after you get the dash ability. And honestly is kind of hard to miss. I know it's meant to be an early game, easy to find flea, but come on, if you're gonna get lost, at least do it somewhere a little more creative. This flea is also probably one of the first fleas most players found. It's found at the top of the marrow in this big room with platforming and enemies everywhere. Honestly, the reason I've put him so low is because dude was like 2 turns off from actually finding the caravan, but still managed to get lost. Like, come on dude, you were this close.
Pathetic.
Rounding out the bottom 3 is the flea found in the middle of Shellwood. He's also not very hard to find and can be heard wriggling from the main path. It's really just that getting to this guy is annoying, as you need to descend down this vertical shaft past these annoying flowers that constantly shoot pollen at you. I've also definitely gone down this side of the room thinking both ways would lead out of the room and had to climb back up and around.
It's not just a boulder, it's a rock.
This flea is a total bum. He's just chilling at the top of this room in the blasted steps right next to the bellway. Wait, hold on a sec. He's not hard to find at all, he's just lazy as fuck. I kinda respect it though, so I can't hate on him too much.
You what?
We're going to have a common theme here with these lower ranked ones, as I'm sure you can tell. And that won't change as we have another flea that's literally found on the way to the Widow boss fight. If you have any curiosity at all, you'll wonder what's up in this area and you'll find this dude stuck in a mess of bells. I promise this list will get more interesting soon, but for now we have to deal with very uncreative little dudes that all share one brain cell.
Let me tell you something! Let me tell you something!
I'm not sure how this guy got here considering it's behind a locked door, but this flea is located in the lower part of the deep docks that I will henceforth only refer to as the deeper docks. Anyway, this guy hired a private army or something because he's stuck in a cave locked behind an enemy gauntlet. The gauntlet isn't that bad except for these guys. They are the spawn of Satan and my hatred for them is the reason why this flea is ranked so low.
Are you just eating cheesecake in the middle of the Everglades? Yeah.
Next, we'll hop over to Biowater, and even though this guy is behind a breakable wall, it's one of the most obvious breakable walls I've ever seen. Plus, I have to go to Biowater to get this guy, so he loses points there. Also, like, he's just hiding from these 2 thief bug guys. Like, fly away? Hello? They don't want you, homie, they just want their booty, arrgh! We're staying in Biowater for this one, but going to the upper part to find this flea trapped in vines. He is behind a secret hole in the wall, but there's a bunch of annoying ass traps, and this is in Biowater, so you lose points, sorry. It's like getting lost in Florida, bro. I'm not coming to save your ass.
Door stuck! Door stuck!
Now we're starting to get into the more interesting one. And let me be clear, none of the previous entries have been bad per se. This is just where things start to get a little more fun or unique as we move further up the list, until we get to absolute awoo. Anyway, this flea is located in the wormways, and it's at least behind a breakable wall. It's also stuck in the maws of this mosquito-looking dude, and honestly, bro, that's just survival of the fittest. Sorry. If saving you didn't unlock the flea minigames, you would have been left for dead. It's the circle of life.
Let me in! Let me in!
Okay, this guy's just so confusing. He's located towards the bottom of the slab right above the bellway bench. I like that you can faintly hear him while sitting at the bench and can look up to see a hole. You gotta use a tricky wall jump and double jump to get to him, which is cool, but then you just see him sleeping like nothing's wrong. Like, dude, this is a prison. How the fuck did you get in here? Did you break in? Why? You thought Master Mushka was locked up for tax evasion or some shit?
Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair. Fuck you, bitch.
So while I was getting all the Flea footage for this video, and for this Flea specifically, I was running back through Greymore, and because I was using the same save file from this previous video, I was in Act 2 and had skipped the Morwing fight entirely. And I found out that if you do that and come back to Greymore in Act 2, he'll spawn here outside the Bellway station. So, I didn't know what to do with that information, so it's yours now. Anyway, this Flea is located at the top of the left tower in Greymore, and the parkour to get to him is pretty cool, but like, he's not even trapped. This dude could just leave at any time. He's just up here at the top of this tower thinking he's Rapunzel or something. Okay, this poor guy must have been caught watching too much Flea Hub or something, because he's literally been trapped in a cage in the right half of Sinner's Road. This dude's been put up with the fucking roaches too, bro, what was he doing? Anyway, he's not really hard to find, but I think the entrance to the room can maybe be a little easy to miss, or at least I did at first.
You fool!
Alright, next up is the Flea hidden behind a breakable wall on the left side of Far Fields. He's been captured in a cage by one of the Hunter's March ants, and I'm not gonna lie, we must share a brain cell because I immediately got captured in one too while trying to free him.
If you can't do the time, don't do the crime.
Okay, now it's the guy from the intro. He's not hard to find at all, but lore-wise, should he be? I mean, he's literally a prisoner in the slab. Last time I checked, it's not supposed to be hard to find prisoners in a prison. Anyway, I just thought it was really funny how he was locked up in this perfectly shaped circular cage hanging from the ceiling. Let my man go, he did nothing wrong.
I was here the whole time. You saw me.
Now, back down to the deep docks, this Flea is hidden in a unique spot right behind the Bellway. I didn't actually find this one until the late game, and the parkour isn't really challenging at all. In fact, if you found it late like I did, you can just use double jump to skip it all. I'm not sure how this guy got lost next to a pit of lava with lava falls and decided it was a good spot to post up though, but whatever, I'm not gonna judge. We're finally in the top half of the ranking, and now we've got the Flea that's stuck in a fancy-ass cage on the left side of the Citadel, just above the spa. You gotta jump over this funny-ass Mario parkour to get there, but honestly, you could just pogo off the spikes to get across too.
You okay?
Jumping over to just right of Songclave in that big open room where you can fight the goat Garmond and Zaza, this Flea is decently well hidden as you have to get up the right wall and do a little platforming to find him chilling out there. And even though this whole area is behind a well-hidden wall, by this point in the game, you know that Team Cherry hides stuff everywhere, so it's not too much of a stretch to just hop on this wall and find the dude. He loses points for just chilling though. I mean, Songclave is right there, bro. You can get help easily. A Flea that has a little bit of interesting game design though is the one right above the Craw Lake. You can see it's there before going into the Craw home, so he's chilling out in the back of your mind. But after you complete the gauntlet in the Craw home, a bunch of new parkour is opened up that leads you up into the left side of the room. So if you use all 3 brain cells in your noggin, you can remember, hey, now that I'm up high, I can float down and see if I can get the Flea. It's neat little game design to help jog the player's brain, which is cool.
Function! Function, damn you!
Okay, this might be a little controversial, but I like the Flea in the Hunter's March. Wait, okay, you've got to jump on all these stupid red flower things, and it's the first real test of parkour and expertise in the game to get this Flea, as it's located pretty early into the area. It's kind of like the great filter of true AWU finders, okay?
For me, nature's one of the neatest things on this planet.
Up next is the Flea found in the bottom of the Underworks. It's only accessible by going through the Wisp Thicket though, which is aesthetically one of my favorite areas in the game. These wall saw things and getting past them are actually tough though. The timing can be a little tight on some of these, so getting an AWU as a prize is a fine reward. Here we go, we're finally in the top 10 and we're starting it off with our first non-AWU Flea. Krat is stuck in some silk behind a breakable wall above the halfway home in Greymore. It lines up with the lore and world building of the game, he's hidden, and once you free him you unlock a hot springs at the Flea Caravan. That's awesome, what more could you want? Yeah, well, he loses points though for being a creepy perv when Hornet's using the spa.
Am I glad he's frozen in there and that we're out here and that he's the sheriff?
Located in the middle of Mount Fay is this cool claw-lined platforming room that was really fun to figure out on my first time in there. But at the end of the room there's a cool little secret hole in the ceiling that has this poor Flea frozen solid in ice. I don't even know how this dude got up here, but he's trapped in such a unique way in such a unique spot, I can't not love it.
Hello YouTube, how you doing today everybody?
Now we're in the left side of the Whispering Vault. To find this flea, you've got to do a neat little puzzle with these moving blocks to get up to where the flea is in this fancy-ass cage. These Citadel folks must really like the idea of having them as pets. Well, I say let the fleas be free. I want to see them a-wooing in fields of rye.
Clever girl.
Staying in the Citadel, but back on the left, is this next flea who's trapped in a ventilation shaft. You have to find 2 breakable walls to reach him. One to turn on this fan, and the other to ride the air up to him, which is pretty cool. Or, well, you could do what I did in my initial playthrough and not find the wind turbine below, and just frustratingly pogo off the blades for 15 minutes until you get up there. That works too.
What are you talking about? Are there other bugs in your life?
Here's another really well hidden flea. It's located above the exhaust organ. To get there, you gotta find a secret path that's hidden by some curtain decoration that leads back outside but at the top of the room. From here, you just hop over to the left and find the flea stuck in some vines. It's not that special, but the way of finding it is so well hidden and uses unique landmarks, so I quite like it.
How did I get here? The end.
Now it's the top 5, baby. This is the best of the best. We're starting strong with the flea on the right side of the far fields. In my original playthrough, this is the last flea I found. It's just so well hidden. I honestly don't blame this guy for getting lost in here. It's only accessible after you open the far fields bellway, but you can actually fit through this gap, which didn't even come to mind for me because of Hornet's giant-ass head. Once you work your way upward in the next couple rooms, you'll be on the other side of the cage next to the Pilgrim's Rest, where the rhino beetle thing is. Trapped in there with him is our poor little flea. It's very well hidden, and I don't mind him chilling here. It looks cozy.
Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
Okay, honestly, this one's only placed so high because it's so funny. Like, Team Cherry's legitimately shitposting with this one. This flea is on the way to the claw line in the cauldron part of the Underworks, if you go left instead of right. The flea is trapped in another one of those shell barrel things, but you have to go through this room of these infinitely respawning cogwork dudes that explode. Their entire life's goal is to charge at you and blow up. And it's just so fucking funny crossing through this room trying to avoid the explosive enemies, especially as they start exploding and setting off each other and causing a massive chain reaction. No notes, it's just so hilarious. Coming in with the bronze medal, we have the big chunky boy found at the top of the memoriam. I love this guy so much. The concept of turning one of the lost fleas into a boss fight is just so cool. But even better, he also goes, that's just awesome. Like, no notes. It's just the big chunky guy who ate too much lasagna. I love him so much. Yes! 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 Surprisingly, my second favorite lost flea lies in one of my least favorite areas of the map, the putrefied ducks, or as I like to call them, the putrefied dicks. It just feels like every enemy and enemy placement in this area is perfectly tailored to make it ungodly amounts of annoying to try to move through quickly, especially when you're doing a quest or trying to get from one place to another after initially exploring the area. Despite that, using these enemies that trap you in fake vines and pull you up as a mechanic for parkour is such a damn cool idea, and it's really fun in practice. Not only that, but most players won't even find out that there's a room above here because if they get stuck in the trap, they'll just try to wriggle free before they can even get pulled up. Once you complete the really cool parkour too, you'll find not just a regular flea, but Vogue, a warrior flea. She's chill as hell and seems like the perfect person to chug beers with at a bar. Everything about this one is just awesome, and yet there is one flea I like just a little bit more.
I like sand.
Personally, I felt that it would be too obvious and lame if I were to pick one of the 3 unique lost fleas as my number 1. Look, I'm a man of the people, and so my number 1 spot should go to the people. Luckily, there is one flea that's not only hidden behind a small section of breakable wall that seems pointless at first, but some really damn fun parkour. He's located in the middle part of the Sands of Karak. This breakable section of wall is not that hard to find, but once you get to the other side, at first glance, it just seems like a bit of a shortcut for going backwards through the room. But if you jump across, you'll see one of these yellow balls that spawn temporary platforms on the ceiling. Just hitting it can be a little tough, but once you do, it leads to some really cool platforming that uses most of your moveset and is really fun and rewarding to pull off. At the end of it, you're rewarded with one of the best awoos you'll ever receive. Again, it's one of those fleas where everything just comes together perfectly. A little bit of observational skills and parkour puzzle solving to find a well-hidden flea friend. Couldn't ask for better for our first place flea. I love this guy. At least I think this is him? They all kind of look the same. Hey, thanks for making it all the way to the end of the video though. It really means a lot. I don't really know how to write an outro here, but if you did like the video and want to see more random stuff I make, feel free to subscribe. Oh, and a special shout out to anyone who uses this video to help find all of the fleas in their playthrough. Okay, bye!